By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Congress of the United States and by the Board of Directors of Georgetown University, I officially confer upon Mo-Dewji the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. And it's now my pleasure to present to you Georgetown's newest double Hoya, Mo-Dewji, who will deliver the commencement address.
Thank you so much, Professor Rivoli, for the great introduction. And thank you, President DeGioia, for this incredible honor. I'm honored and forever grateful. Provost Groves, Secretary Matson, Dean Almeida, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, and most importantly, members of the graduating class. Good afternoon, Hoyas. Congratulations, class of 2022. Allow me to express my deepest gratitude for the honor of joining you in celebrating this pivotal moment of your lives. My name is Mo-Dewji. You can fondly call me Mo. I'm an African entrepreneur, former politician, and a philanthropist. I'm also a father of 3 amazing children and a proud Hoya. 2 decades ago, I sat right where you are, dressed in cap and gown, overflowing with new ideas, financial models, business theories. Like you, I was ready to take on the world. The only question was, would the world be ready for me? In '98, I packed my newly printed diploma and boarded a plane back to East Africa, where my father ran a commodities trading house. In the next 2 decades, I transformed the business into one of the largest homegrown companies in East and Central Africa, with 35,000 employees and annual revenues over $2 billion. Many of you hear this, and it reinforces the burning question, is the world ready for you? Now that I stand on the other side of the podium, after years of experience, I can tell you that is the wrong question to ask. It leads us to believe that we have any real control over the world. Instead, today, I offer you the same advice that I would give myself 24 years ago. The world is never about you, but it should always concern you. I learned the lesson when I returned to Tanzania, when I visited the rural area where I was born. I wandered the nearby villages. I realized not much had changed. The region remained stuck at the same poverty level and isolation over the years. One day, I saw an old man kneeling on the path. He was using a plate to scoop dirty water from puddles into a bucket. He explained that the entire village had little to no access to clean water. So this is the water they drank. In all honesty, I did not believe him. Were we really this far behind? I walked into a small hut and I saw children drinking yellow water from used PET bottles. After quick research, I learned that 3 out of 10 children in Tanzania were dying of waterborne diseases. I couldn't shake the sinking feeling that it was more than just a disparity between America and Tanzania. It was entirely a different world. Today, when I think back to those children, I think of my own children and how much I love them. I know that every parent here loves their children just as much as I love mine. And I refuse to believe that the life of a child in Washington, D.C. is more precious than a life of a child in Africa. A life is equal to a life, no matter what. My own mother endured 18 hours My own mother endured 18 hours of labor as I struggled with an umbilical cord wrapped around my neck with the nearest hospital hours away. I was delivered on a dinner table in a mud and plastered house. The doctor predicted that one of us if not both, would die during the birth. I thought, what had kept me from becoming a statistic? What kept me alive? It was the strength of my mother and the midwife and the community prayers. It was my father who provided for us and protected our home. It was the community that kept me alive. That is why, despite our differences, I firmly believe we are all connected by this community, one that is rooted